It's Ag Week at USU. It's time to cuddle a pig and check out this week's ATV News.
USU hosted Utah's gubernatorial debate. We'll tell you who the challenger is because chances are you don't know.
Aggies are creating electric vehicles of tomorrow. See how they intend to cut the cord.
What does it take to make an entire city tear up their sidewalks? We'll take you up to Preston to see it for yourself.
There were 2 homecoming football games this weekend, but only one home team won, and that's no bowl. This is a goat. I'll show you what's coming up in weather.
It'll be the best news you ever heard on this week's ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Kalen Taylor.
And I'm Mark Rosa. This week, Utah State University held the gubernatorial debate.
Our own Morgan Pratt takes you to the only televised debate between Governor Herbert and Democratic challenger Mike Weinholz.
Governor Gary Herbert's debated Democratic nominee Mike Weinholz at the Kane Performance Hall.
I have a vision for what we need to do for these next 4 years, and together we can work and make sure that Utah remains the best place in America to live, raise a family, and to do business.
Governor Herbert is a little bit out of touch with everyday Utahns, and I want you to know that I'm running to be your next governor because there is a better way.
The real question of the night is, who is Mike Weinholz? A Dan Jones and Associate poll says 40% of Utahns don't recognize his name.
Mike Weinholz is a guy, apparently, governor, and that's all I really know.
I don't know who that is. He's Democratic, but I don't know exactly where he stands.
Governor? Oh, no, I'm getting him mixed up with a different Mike. No, I'm thinking of a different person. Never mind then.
I do not.
He's the Democratic nominee for governor this year.
I started out as a factory worker, and I worked my way through night school, a couple courses at a time, before starting my first business. And I've been blessed to be a walking example of the American dream.
Morgan Pratt, ATV News.
60% of people polled say they would vote for Gary Herbert. 24% of them say they'll vote for Weinholz, which is about on par with the percentage of registered Democrats in Utah.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton faced off in their first ever debate on Monday. According to Nielsen ratings, around 84 million viewers tuned in to watch these presidential hopefuls argue over everything from education to ISIS.
Had we taken the oil, and we should have taken the oil, ISIS would not have been able to form either because the oil was their primary source of income. And now they have the oil all over the place, including the oil, a lot of the oil in Libya.
As soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, a release of dissidents, an opening of new opportunities in nations around the world, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina.
You'll have to wait until October 4th for the next debate, but you can register to vote today. Students here at Utah State are working together to get their friends and peers involved. These students are registering to vote right here on campus. The Government Relations Council set up booths where students can fill out a form to register to vote and have it turned in for them. Yesterday, they helped 193 students register, and they've helped more than 1,100 students register so far this year, which is close to the group's goal of 2,000 students.
It's important that students vote because they can be the determining vote in electing their next representative.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, just over 59% of the population is registered to vote, and about 38% actually voted in 2014. But of voters aged 18 to 24, about 39% are registered to vote, and just under 16% voted. That makes the college-age group the worst for voter turnout, by about 50%. The Government Relations Council will be available to help students register to vote all this week at various locations on campus from 10 to 2. For a detailed list of locations, check out the ATV Facebook page.
A mother and child are dead after a car crash in Providence on Thursday. UHP says Norma Barriga made a left-hand turn at the intersection of 1700 South and SR 165 when an oncoming truck T-boned her car. She was taken to Logan Regional Hospital. Her baby Andy was flown to Primary Children's, both in critical condition. Barriga was taken off life support Sunday and passed away early this week. Her child died Friday from his injuries. Rescuers say the crash was especially tough for them because it involved a baby.
Nobody likes to see a child hurt, and especially an infant, someone in a car seat, and we care for and love our children so much. It's very difficult, and a collision involves a small child or an infant.
The truck driver had broken bones and cuts. She was taken to Logan Regional Hospital.
Coming up on ATV News, this isn't your average printer. See what NASA wants with the USU project.
And see the new scam that is leaving USU students with lighter bank accounts.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Scam going around Cache County, and it could scare you into coughing up your money. Abby Lewis has the word on the ripoff that comes via cell phone. Abby?
Hey, Caitlin. Here, people know who they're giving their money to, but some citizens of Cache County are being cheated out of their hard-earned dollars. It's called the bench warrant scam, and it could happen to you.
Next time your phone rings, make sure you know who you're really talking to.
This is not the first time that we've had a very similar scam recently with somebody representing themselves as associated with the sheriff's office and informing the person that they have a warrant for their arrest for some legal issue and requesting that they make payment over the phone to avoid being arrested and booked into jail.
These students at USU could be affected not only by this scam, but by similar ones too.
I got this call from an unknown number, and I answered it. They pretty much told me that they were calling from the IRS and that I had to pay them this huge amount of money.
This is what some people see on their phone when they answer these kind of phone calls, but looks can be deceiving, and if it doesn't seem right, probably isn't real.
I was like, I'm not very comfortable with what is going on. I'm gonna ask, someone else, and so he started threatening me again.
Use common sense. Really, that's what it is. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of or that somebody's attempting to scam you, they probably are.
And they wouldn't let me hang up the phone because they told me that once they hung up the phone that they had an order for my arrest.
There's nothing that says you can't be rude on the phone and just hang up if you think you're being scammed.
While it was happening, it was pretty difficult not to get scared.
The sheriff's office and the courts don't call people. Just like the IRS doesn't call people for personal information or financial information.
That student lost over $2,000. If you think you're getting scammed, police say you can hang up the phone, call 911, and to never pay over the phone for warrants or the IRS.
Thanks, Abby.
You may have noticed a new entrance to the Merrill Kaiser Library at Utah State, but it doesn't lead into the library. It leads into the new USU Testing Center. It's empty now, but the testing center can hold up to 200 students. It provides testers with materials like laptops and headphones, but you must schedule an appointment online before the test date and bring your ID card. The testing center opens in October, and students have mixed feelings about it.
I found that some students are excited about coming to take tests in the testing center, and some students are not that excited about it. But hopefully, the students that aren't excited about it, at least we can try and make it a good environment and as good of an experience as possible for them.
There's another new building on campus, but is it a welcome center or is it a credit union? Well, it's both. In the welcome center part, employees help visitors with campus information and is the starting point for campus tours. As far as the bank part goes, it's more than just an ATM on the side of a building. It's a full-service bank in the middle of campus, which makes it easier for students to walk right in and get help from employees.
It's so easy because you're in class, take a step out of class and credit unions in the parking lot, and you just hop on over and get whatever you need to settled.
USU Credit Union built the Welcome Center at no cost to the school, and in return, they get to have an on-campus location.
Utah State University has opened a first-of-its-kind transportation research center that focuses on technology that can save you time and money on your commute. I went to USU's Innovation Campus to show you the future of public transit. Engineers, researchers, and automotive professionals gathered on USU's campus for the opening of the SELECT facility, or the Sustainable Electronic Transportation Center.
The Sustainable Electrified Transportation Center is really a holistic approach to all of the components that come together to make what we know as the electrified transportation ecosystem. Electronic drives, energy storage, power electronic, grid infrastructure, wireless charging.
In other words, technology that helps you drive safer and smarter. Researchers also demonstrated a new technology that can help you save money. The bus that I'm riding on is autonomous, which means it drives itself. And it's wireless charging, which means no more stops at the gas pump or the charging station. Now this was a great demo, but that's all it was, just a demo. You may be wondering, when can you expect to catch a ride to work on a bus like this?
We could start seeing national rollouts of electrified roadways in the next 8 to 12 years.
You might be thinking, 8 years is a long time to wait, but the SELECT team had some other cool tech to wet your whistle in the meantime. Like an autonomous Ford Focus, which after a minor tech hiccup, cruises beautifully around the quarter-mile track. The technology of autonomous and wirelessly charging vehicles is still new. Experts say the potential goes far beyond public transit.
That application of that technology continues to get better and less expensive. It'll apply to passenger vehicles and other heavy-duty transit.
SELECT engineers envision wireless charging technology on every road and in every car.
A NASA research project on antennas could make your day a little easier. I visited a Utah State University lab to see how the technology could lighten your load. This might look like just a printer, but it creates space antennas.
You can print those antennas and electronics and any kind of structure on the clothes. You can print these antennas on a glass substrate.
Antennas are simple.
From the front side, you have antenna to transmit signal, and the side you have antenna to receive a signal.
Bachter's lab is funded by NASA, so its main focus is preparing glass antennas for small satellites powered by solar panels.
And one of the biggest advantage of this antenna is that you can achieve transparency. So you can put these antennas on the top of the solar panels and still the light can go through.
After printing the designs, engineers take them to a wave-proof room to test them.
And ideally you let it radiate to far away, you measure it outside, but if you don't have that environment outside, we have an indoor simulator environment.
A computer program digitally maps the signal patterns so researchers can improve on their designs and reprint. Bachter says in the future she wants to print on a fabric, which could eliminate the need for soldiers to carry packs like this. Or, if you like shredding in the backcountry, your next avalanche beacon could be printed right on your jacket.
We can write the antenna on the fabric, you can wear as a bandage patch, put on your helmet. So it's basically, you can just have a wearable part of the wearable radio.
Tariq says NASA workers will be stopping by to pick up their designs in order to send them into space. And Bachter says that once her grant from NASA runs out, she hopes to get one from the military so that she can start producing things like antennas printed onto clothing. The current temperature in Logan is 78 degrees.
Nice. Oh, look,
contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute. They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
We had some pretty intense weather over the weekend. Mark, do you have any problems with it?
You know what? Our power stayed on, but I know a lot of people in the valley lost theirs.
Yeah, a lot did. The storm last week left a lot of damage behind. Thousands of people were left to spend the night in the dark. And we have actually some video of damage that they're still cleaning up. The city is still working to clean up that damage. This is 10th North and 10th East in Logan, right next to the football stadium. Stormwater came down the hill, drained under the road, and eroded the curb and pavement. As you can see here, in several spots, the road crumbled, creating holes, including this deep hole. According to Logan City Public Works Director, the city will work with the university on the best way to repair the road.
Plan is to go talk to USU where this starts and just figure out a plan together, but probably the best option is to pipe it from here down to the corner and control it as opposed to how it works now.
Because 10th North has a lot of traffic during the football games, the city plans to move quickly, but they say it will take about a month to have things repaired completely. And they're going to have some more weather to deal with as they do that. We have some rain across the nation this week. As you can see down here in the Gulf area, they are just getting a lot of rain, and there's a storm moving through this Great Lakes area. It'll actually move up into the Great Lakes area later through this the next few days, and there's actually, through some of these counties here in the Midwest, they have some flood warnings with this storm here. And then if we moved to the West Coast, we can see in Arizona we have a little bit of just pockets of rain, same in California and Nevada, and those pockets will actually be coming in through Utah in the next few days. So if we look at our state radar, you can see that we just have not a lot of storms quite yet, but that will change in the next few days. Today it's beautiful, nice and sunny. If we look at the 7-day, we can see what's coming up. Today, as you can see, high of 78, low of 48. And then tonight, actually, the storm will be moving through. There's a 30% chance of rain on Thursday. So we have rain and thunderstorms possible. And then it goes down to a 20% chance on Friday, 75 degrees both days. So it's staying warm for those thunderstorms. And then Saturday, that percentage goes up, 30% chance of rain then. And then Sunday, actually, we have is the first day of October, and the temperature is going to change. It's going to get a little bit chillier, 63 on Sunday, and then a high of 56, and then 55 Tuesday. So, and that chance of thunderstorm is staying around. So temperatures are moving down, but I hear in sports that there's some high scorers. Claire?
Yes, thanks, Amy. In fact, when we come back, soccer usually ends with 2 goals in a game. This weekend, there were 7 total. We'll tell you who came out on top.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
And welcome back. The Aggies' winning streak at Maverick Stadium for Mountain West Conference games is over after Saturday night's battle against Air Force. Utah State took the lead when freshman Rashad Lewis caught his first career touchdown on a 43-yard reception. But the game quickly flipped after Air Force got ahead with just 13 seconds left in the second quarter. The Aggies lost with a final score of 20-27, but the even bigger loss was when 2 starting players were injured and did not return. Running back Devontae Mays entered the game late in the first quarter, but after only 1 play, injured his leg and did not return. Then, early in the third quarter,
certainly our best players at those positions because they're the starters.
Then, early in the first quarter, leading defender Dallin Levitt was hurt while pursing quarterback Nate Romine on an 8-yard run.
They're certainly our best players at those positions because they're the starters. But I think they're certainly our best players at those positions because they're the starters. But I think
there have been no further updates on the injuries, and if all that was not enough, it was Utah State's homecoming game. The Aggies will head up to Idaho this Saturday to take on Boise State. Skyview High School also had their homecoming game last week. They took on Northridge Friday night. Skyview with the ball. And we're just having a couple technical difficulties right now. All right, so here's Jackson Sidaway with a screen pass to Cole Stokes. Stokes hauls it down 30 yards for a touchdown, and the Bobcats take the lead. Northridge trying to keep it close. Ethan Udi goes deep down to Hunter Harris all the way at the 10-yard line. Later, a few plays, Sidaway hands it off to Stokes, but the Northridge Knights take him down. Skyview goes on to win 38-14. Utah State's women's tennis split its squad last week, sending 2 players down to Provo to compete at the BYU Invitational, while the remaining 9 members stayed in Logan for the Aggie invite. 2 seniors claimed the doubles title with a perfect 3-0 doubles record down at BYU. At the Aggie Invitational, the team picked up 3 more titles by sweeping down doubles brackets and winning a singles title. And now on over to Eccles Ice Center for some hockey. Utah State started off their home opener against UNLV hot, scoring their first goal just 1 minute into the game. But they were unable to keep that momentum going. UNLV scored 5 unanswered goals, one after the other. Then, with just 44 seconds left on the clock, the Aggies were finally able to score their second goal of the game. USU outshot UNLV 40-32, but Rebels goalkeeper Terry Martin made the difference with 38 saves. The Aggies also had 11 penalties, which contributed heavily to the 5-2 loss. The Aggies played the University of Utah down south the next day and lost again for the second time in 2 days. Coach John Eccles said that regardless of the loss, he was happy with the improvement from the home opener against UNLV. Utah State soccer won both of their matches this weekend. The Aggies fought through the rain on Friday as they hosted Colorado State at Legacy's Fields on USU's campus. The game was moved because their normal fighting grounds were unplayable, but they still pulled out a 3-1 victory. Then on Sunday, the Aggies scored 3 more goals against Wyoming during a 20-minute span in the second half. Jessica Brooksby took the assist on a corner kick. Lauren Harmon sees it and heads it into the net. Then Bailey Hammond takes control near the midfield, drives it down, and scores it from the middle of the box. Just 5 minutes later, Hammond on the assist, kicking it to Wesley Hamlin for the goal. And the Aggies continued to control their offense through the final minutes, wrapping up their weekend with a double victory.
You never think about going 2-0 in a weekend. That's always your hope, but you really just have to take one game at a time. Every game in conference is a fantastic back and forth battle. There's quality teams head to toe in conference, so you just look at it one day at a time.
Utah State soccer team continues its season this weekend with a pair of Mountain West matches at Air Force on Friday and then at Colorado College on Sunday. Now that you're all caught up on sports, I'll send it back to Mark and Kaylin over at the desk.
Thanks, Claire. When we come back, if you've ever been scared of walking alone at night on USU campus,
you don't have to be. See who's only a call away. They want to hear.
We sat down with Charlie Puth before his USU concert. Hear what advice he had to give the students.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids.
This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Preston, Idaho may be small, but it still has to be wheelchair accessible. The town is putting in new sidewalk entrances to meet ADA compliancy standards. After the state inspected the town, it required Preston to rebuild the sidewalks so those with disabilities can get around town easier. The planning for the project took nearly a year, according to the city engineer, but construction has only taken 3 weeks.
It makes a lot easier for people to navigate State Street, go up and down State Street, especially those in wheelchairs and any other crutches or whatever.
Pavement will be stripped next Monday, and construction is expected to be completed later next week.
If you've ever felt unsafe at USU, the campus police have a service for you. Some students say Utah State campus can be creepy at nighttime, especially if you're not in a group. USU police showed us what they can do if you ever feel unsafe. Students can request a police officer to walk them anywhere on campus. Police had 13 requests for escorts last year, but they say they're willing to do more.
We want the students to feel safe while they're up here. For the most part, this is a safe campus, but things do happen.
You can call USU Police at any time, and they'll send an officer.
You might have been disappointed when Charlie Puth got sick and canceled the end-of-year bash.
Students are more like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to like new stuff, whereas fans, which I love my fans, don't get me wrong, they want to hear the stuff that they love, but I can afford to make a little bit more creative decisions in a university setting. Don't get so caught up in the academia. Still do the homework, but kind of do your own thing at the same time. Like, learn what you learn in the classroom and apply it to real-life situations.
If you missed the Puth concert or just didn't get enough music into your life, check out the Autumn Voices concert hosted by the Kane College of the Arts this Friday night. The event is free for students, or tickets range between $8 and $10. You can find a link to buy tickets on our Facebook page.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
Catch all the latest editions of ATV News on our Facebook page. We're leaving you with some on-campus sheep herding that was part of USU's Ag Week. Have a great day, Aggies.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find
Find yours at discovertheforest.org.